Hey there! War Dog's little sister Rissa here, talking to you about the worst Disney flicks. At least in my opinion. Here we go. Number 10, Peter Pan. Don't get me wrong, I do like the movie. But there are much better movies, including the sequel, Return to Neverland, with her daughter, Jane. But Peter Pan does have its moments. I enjoy the songs and some of the characters. Even the Indians in their song. I didn't really like Tinkerbell much when I was younger, but she grew on me. I guess the only reason why it's so low on my Disney list is just because there are a lot of Disney movies I like better, and in comparison to them, Peter Pan just doesn't fly high enough. You can fly, but you can't make my best list. Sorry. Number 9, Alice in Wonderland. Okay, I'm just gonna start this off with what we're all thinking when we watch this movie. What drug are you all on? But I digress. Other than the fact that most of this movie makes no damn sense, the walrus and the carpenter. No, actually, Alice says so herself that Wonderland is a made-up world of nonsense, so I guess in that sense it makes sense? Great, now I sound like the weatherman from Phantom Tollbooth. Anyway, the movie has a lot of symbolism about being forced to grow up and how grown-ups treat kids that makes it that I just can't hate this movie. Plus, most everyone's mad here anyway. Number 8, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. First off, her high-pitched voice gives me tinnitus. But that's not the only reason this movie makes it onto my worst Disney movies list. The prince is nothing. A random voice by a well, then he pops up in the end to kiss her and they ride off into the sunset. I suppose I could just appreciate it as the first animated movie and not hate on the prince or Snow White that much. But if you had the time and ability to make other likable characters, Grumpy and Dopey are my favorites, but all the dwarves have more character than the main couple. You could have put a little more effort into Snow White and what's-his-face. Even the Queen has more character than that bland Betty Boop. Number 7, Hercules! When I was a kid, this movie was funny, cool, and fun to watch. However, in my teenage years, I found a love for Greek mythology, and because of that, this movie sucks. Granted, all Disney movies take liberties when it comes to retelling an old story, but this has to be the worst. And that includes the grossly romanticized and historically inaccurate Pocahontas. Not that I don't enjoy that movie about as much as this one. They're both very enjoyable to watch. Anyway, Hades is hilarious, Phil has his moments, and I will always love Pegasus and Meg, especially Meg. She makes the movie, and her song is the best. Then there's Hercules. He's, well, pathetic. As a hero, he gets the job done. As a love interest, he's sweet and kind. Just what a gal wants in a guy. But as a likable character, he just falls flat. At least Zeus is likable. Unlike in mythology, keep it in your pants, dude. So, to sum it up, I love mythology and therefore cannot hold this movie in high esteem like I used to when I was younger. Number 6, Dumbo. What to say first? It's stupid. It's not bad, it's not good, it's just stupid. It's not very memorable, it didn't leave a very strong impression on me, or any impression really. It's just an average, mediocre movie with an adorable elephant, and no good songs or likable characters, other than the baby elephant and his mouse manager. But that ain't saying much, because cuteness aside, I don't like them much either. Number 5, A Bug's Life. I can imagine that a rock is a seed, but I can't imagine that this movie is good. Flick is what you call a smart idiot. He has good ideas, but he screws them up all the time by being a fool. Hopper's your average bully, only he's a grasshopper instead of a human. Flick's lady love is so meh that I don't remember her name. Hopper's lackey is stupid, the flea thing is annoying, and little Princess Dot is a little shit. Plain and simple. She is an unlikable little brat throughout basically the whole movie. The only part I liked when I was younger was the circus bugs and the Queen, And even that's not enough to make me watch this movie by choice. This is just not a movie that I pick up and think, I haven't watched this in a while, I must watch it. Nope, I will gladly avoid ever watching this movie again, and that goes double for the next one on this list. Number 4, Frozen. Tangled is better. Sorry, not sorry. That being said, I like Elsa. I like Let It Go when I don't hear it 20 times in one freaking week. But Elsa was going to be, and should have been, the antagonist. And I don't like that they flipped it halfway through the movie, which you can tell because the rest of the movie falls flat because of it. Olaf is annoying. I hate him. Yeah, cry me a river. Kristoff has better chemistry with his reindeer than Anna, and Hans, although not likable as a love interest or even a villain, was a surprising twist. But the Duke would have been better for a main villain after Elsa is the antagonist for a while. They took Elsa from being the first female anti-hero to being just as predictable and one-dimensional as her little sister. Ugh, way to go, new age female empowerment. Way to go. Number 3, Brave. Taking a great movie like The Princess Diaries and mixing it with an okay movie like Brother Bear was not a good idea. You can either have a princess who just wants to be a tomboy, which would have been a great movie, or a movie about a girl who accidentally turns her mother into a bear. But mixing them is garbage. Plus, I don't get along with my mother, so this movie did not hit one heartstring for me. I relate to Rapunzel and Mother Gothel more. Overall, the movie just makes me want to get up and leave. I would not choose to watch this movie, and I'm still waiting for the Disney movie with a tomboy princess who stays a tomboy. Closest thing we get is Princess Vanellope. But that movie isn't centered on her, so we don't get that much of her. This movie could have been amazing, but it wasn't. However, it's not my number 1 because the next 2 movies sadly exist. Number 2, Dinosaur. Ew. Just ew. I like dinosaurs, but this is not dinosaurs, despite the name. This is an eyesore. Not as bad as my number 1, but we'll get to that. A dinosaur found and raised by monkeys. Weird plot, but when my brother and I were kids, our father bought anything Disney, so we watched it. And I don't remember much of it, but I know I didn't like it. I never watched it again, and I have no intention to because this movie is not worth watching. There were no likable characters, no scenes that pulled on a heartstring, no laughs, no tears, no heart! And that's my biggest problem with this movie, is that it has no heart. The Heartless from that game my brother plays wouldn't even touch this movie or any of its characters. That's how bad it is. Disney movies have heart. Always. Even the ones I don't really like have some damn heart. Except for this one and my number 1. And the number 1 is James and the Giant Peach. Another ugly movie with no heart? Come on, Disney! What was wrong with you when you made this pile of garbage? This movie doesn't make sense. Has ugly animation, no likable characters, and why is there a rhino in the clouds? How did it eat his parents? Is that supposed to symbolize something? Why do the evil fugly ants keep mentioning it like it matters more than it did? This is the main thing I remember about this movie because to this day, that scene baffles the hell out of me. Of course, they explain it in the book, but I found that out this year, so that didn't help when I was a kid. So I remember that, and glowworms, or crocodile tongues and other shit? Yuck. And of course, the Giant Peach, but that's in the title. The songs are awful, especially the James song. The characters are atrocious, and there are live-action animated films that are done better than this over-the-top clusterfuck. Remember Nickelodeon's Angela Anaconda? Yes, it did exist. And so did this. I just never thought they would exist within the wonderful world of Disney. That being said, I still love Peaches, so the movie didn't ruin my life. I'll just never watch it again.
No, 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 no. No! Hell no! No!
So, that is my list. And the only reason Home on the Range isn't on here is because when it came out, I was old enough to choose what I wanted to watch. And that will never be something that I want to watch. Be sure to check out my brother's list, which is linked in the description box below. And don't forget to comment the Disney movies you dislike. And if you like the movie I dissed, I don't care. TTFN! Ta-ta for now!